Hey guys, Biggie here, and welcome to Lorem Ultra with community shaders. That's right, this, what you're seeing right now, is not using any sort of ENB. This is community shaders with all of the latest features and gadgets and add-ons. Currently, it's every single publicly available, meaning on Nexus, community shaders feature, along with, and it's actually raining. Let me make it daytime. Along with D-Bottle's new NAT ENB Weather community shaders port, which makes NAT more compatible with community shaders. No post-processing at all, and honestly, it looks really, really good. So the question that's been on a lot of people's minds is, when is community shaders going to surpass ENB in terms of visuals? Should I switch over now? And I mean, honestly, the answer is kind of complicated, because there's a lot of ways you can look at it. Now, first things first, when you run community shaders with all of the features enabled, it is a little heavy. I can only speak for myself. It gets pretty heavy, pretty close to, you know, how heavy ENB can be. But for other people, it only costs them a few FPS. But I mean, community shaders has tons of features like wetness effects. It has complex parallax, and it has certain things that ENB doesn't even have, such as the light limit fix. So on a technical level, there's already certain aspects of community shaders that are better than ENB. But on a visual level, I would still say that some of the best looking ENBs out there still do look a little bit better, at least for my personal taste, than community shaders, but they do have the benefit of post-processing, where you're able to kind of add different effects and change the color tone of things. But I mean, Skylighting came out, and like, look how crazy good this looks. So Skylighting, it allows for the light to properly cast on objects. So you can see how, like, just how good the shadow effects are. And as we walk through this tower here, you're gonna see, and I'll even change the time of day, so you can just see how dynamically it'll change. I mean, the shadows and everything do get cast a lot more realistic, in my opinion. The lighting ends up just looking, I don't know, more natural. At least for interiors like this. I mean, look at that. It's just, I mean, that's just gorgeous, man. That is just gorgeous. But yeah, I mean, without post-processing, you know, you can still add your own post-processing with reshade and tweak colors that way, add some cool little effects. But then once you do that, it does get a little bit heavier. Other things that community shaders has, like I said, I mentioned wetness effects. The wetness effects in general are better than ENB's wetness effects, because they had cool little puddles on the ground. And from what I understand, they plan on eventually in the future using that same type of effect for snow and frost shaders, maybe even ash in the future, who knows. So it'd be really cool to basically have dynamic snow covering things. I don't know if that's going to be a possibility in the future, but that'd be really cool. So let me take you over to some water here, and then we'll check out the interiors as well. I mean, nighttime, honestly, even vanilla nighttime looks good. Nighttime looks pretty on par, I would say, with a lot of ENBs. I think ENB does have more flexibility in the type of like ambient lighting that it can do at night. So you can have some cool like volumetric fog effects and whatnot with ENB at night. But I mean, Community Shader's night does still look pretty solid. But with Community Shaders being open source and a lot of people working on it, you know, it's developing quickly. I would say it's developing pretty quickly. So only time will tell. Obviously, obviously ENB is maintained and created by one person, so one person working on something versus a lot of people working on something. I mean, it tends to just go that, you know, I mean, when Community Shaders first started, I was like, oh, I don't really see where this is going. But now I definitely see the appeal of it, and just seeing the progress that they've been making lately has been really staggering. Although, like I said, I think ENB still does certain things better. ENB, I've noticed that the lighting on trees, for example, there's more depth to the light that you tend to see on foliage with ENB compared to community shaders, if that makes sense. So, but like I said, I mean, this is being developed by a lot of people, so they can always add stuff in. This is still very much a work in progress. So I'll put a link in the description to all the different community shaders things that I'm using. Here you can see the water blending with community shaders is also, I think, a little bit better. There's no like line. There's no like cutoff point. I don't know how to explain it, but with ENB, you can kind of see like the edge of the water, right? And it's just a sharp line, but you don't get that in community shaders. It just blends in really naturally, which is pretty cool. Although I will say the water LODs, and it might just be because I'm using water for ENB. Maybe it wouldn't be the case with Simplicity of C or something. And the water LODs look a little bit off with community shaders. So let's go to the in here. And as you can see, the lighting is pretty damn good now. The complex parallax effects are nice as well. The fires, something about the fires, the color is completely different when using community shaders. It's more kind of bleached out. But other than that, and maybe this is a case of, might just use a different fire mod. I'm using Embers XD, but that's how it ends up looking. But other things like these little candle flames look really good, really nice. And, you know, all the light shafts and everything looks, I mean, besides the fires, the interiors look to me pretty much the exact same as when using an ENB, which is pretty crazy to think about because it was not like this at all before. And you get the benefit of the light limit fix, meaning that you're not going to have any sort of like flickering effects if you were to use a torch and you go over. Basically, each mesh in Skyrim can only have a certain amount of light sources hit it. But Community Shaders fixes that, but ENB doesn't. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I just wanted to showcase just the cool new effects of Community Shaders. I will put a link in the description below of all the different mods because, as you can see here, there's a lot of Community Shaders features now. Dynamic cube maps, extended materials. These are the features. Cloud shadows came out recently. SSGI came out recently. This is, when you disable this, I mean, just the difference is crazy. Light limit fix, as I just mentioned, grass lighting, grass collisions, skylighting, subsurface scattering, terrain shadows, water effects, wetness effects. And probably more to come. Anyway, y'all, I will catch you next time.